First, I want to thank you and thank the Saudi House and the Ministry of Commerce and the Cultural Fund for letting me to talk today regarding to the value of cultural asset. As an architect, usually when we're starting a new project, we talk about cost and function and form. And normally, what's happening, when we're working with our clients, we try to focus and evaluate one of this kind of aspect. So, and normally, what's happening that the cost of the project or the cost of the construction being the lead in that kind of discussion. So when we're thinking about cultural assets and we want to talk about how we can evaluate that growth, we need to think about how we will change this kind of method that when we do an value engineering for this kind of project, we should have another different way to evaluate this kind of project. So redefine the value of engineering to just to make sure that we, as when we having this kind of project that's focusing in cultural, we should look at different aspects that regarding this kind of project. So this is some of the thoughts that I'm thinking about it, and I'm not saying me alone, me and my team. When we have this kind of value and we cannot, let's say, reflect it in this kind of project as a function or as a cost, how we can evaluate it. So we try to tweak a little bit about how we can evaluate this kind of project and how we can start on redefining this kind of, let's say, experience. So when you're speaking about functional, and we look at it as a function, we can focus on functioning as an experience. What is mean here? Meaning about we just not functional about what is gonna, let's say, as an functioning that can producing, let's say, film, or this building can produce film or can produce music, which is a function about how we can make this kind of experience also touching with or be a part of the cultural thing. And also values beyond cost. And what I mean here, it's not only we should evaluate the cost. There are a lot of aspects for a value or meaning of the value that related to the culture, related to the community, related to the environment that's been in there. So a lot of values that we should put in mind. It's not only the cost. And last, we build for a legacy. We're not just building for today. We're building something that is going to be leased for a long time, and with the time, that's going to be getting more values. So I'm sharing with you some project that may be reflecting some of part of that thing that I spoke about it. So we have this kind of project. It's named Hawada. This project in the Diriyah. And that's Diriyah area is a heritage area, and that's having a lot of cultural side. And we need to keep doing some project that reflecting that kind of thing. So Hawada, it's an Arabic name. It's mean more to silent in English. And what we want to create there is how we can link our culture and heritage in this area and link it also with the environment, because we should also think about the environment. It's not only a building, it's a building and a community and an environment that's surrounded. So when we're linking this kind of type of project, we're thinking about how we can build an asset that with the time getting more values. And these values should be based on the cultural that's and our, let's say, heritage that's from this kind of area, and to make sure that when someone speaking about, let's say, the cost of this kind of building, they should evaluate with the time that kind of building is going to produce more value with the time. But this is something different when we're speaking about doing film studios. So normally when we're starting doing this project and we're doing film studios, normally studios does not look something is very interested. It's like a box, and that box producing that kind of cultural, let's say, content or films. So as an architect, we say it should be different. We should put a value. That's kind of thing. It should be an asset, and that asset should also giving something to the community before surrounded. Sorry. So we're focusing about how we can do a studio, and that's look interested. And also not changing in the functionality. In the end, it should be producing this kind of film. So when we work in that project, we believe that that kind of project that is complicated, let's say, filling all the circle, that we have a nice building, that building as a functionality is also producing the most technology film. Actually, this is a VR studios, by the way, so it's more advanced. And also, in the same time, this kind of project, that is one of the infrastructure project for the Ministry of Culture. And also, in the same time, we actually getting support from the cultural fund to fund this, because we actually in the end we're a Saudi company. We're part of the infrastructural for a film that as a contractor or designers work in that kind of industry. And then also in the end, that is something for the community. So that kind of building is, with the time, that kind of produced films, and this kind of films is one of the assets also is related to this kind of, let's say, building. So with the time, the value is going to be, it's going to make it more better. Last thing is we want to talk about, so the same, let's say, field is the music, the music hub, academy. And this academy is actually academy for people to learn how to playing in doing music and playing in this instrument, and we're focusing in that kind of thing, how we can do the large of the value with the life cycle is how we can producing more, meaning producing what I'm saying, producing more is producing a talent that's gonna study in this kind of building, and it's gonna get let's say more people that specialize in that kind of field, and that's kind of value that what we reflected as a cultural asset that can producing some of, it's not producing only, let's say, talent, it's also producing some media content for as a film, like a film studios, as here as a music. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you.